here. Today in this video, I'm going to be checking out the latest and greatest from iRobot. This is the iRobot Roomba Combo. It's the J7 Plus robot vacuum and mop. Key difference there, along with the clean base, which is their self-emptying base. I did purchase this product myself, and any opinion expressed in this video is strictly my own. That being said, if you're interested in this item or you want to find out more about it, the link to it will be in the video description. Here's a look at the retail box and packaging. Everything looks great. It looks very similar to the regular J7 Plus, but in this case, we have the new and improved version with the mop that's built in. Now let's go ahead, let's open it up and look at the contents. First up, we have our getting started instructions right here. Get everything ready, unpackage, position the charging station, plug in the charging station, and get everything all charged up. We also have some instructions up at the top. Remove the robot first, then the charging station. So make sure that you open everything properly. Here are all the contents. First up, we have our product literature, followed by our Bona concentrate floor cleaner packets, 2 mop pads right here. We have 1 power cord and cable. We have the Roomba itself, and we have this self-emptying base. Let's go ahead, let's look at these 2 items in more detail. Here's the self-emptying base. From the top, we have a nice leather iRobot branded handle that we can open up to reveal an extra vacuum bag right here. Nice built-in storage. And we have one already installed, ready to go. If we need to remove it, just pull it straight up and out to replace as needed. And then just press this right back in like so, and you're all set and ready to go. They have the instructions for you at the very top too, built into the lid, so you'll never forget. Looking further down, we have treads right here for the tires. This is where it's gonna actually suck out the contents of the dustbin and empty automatically. Let me tip it up so you can see the charging contacts right here. Looks like we got some sort of QR code it's able to scan and find its way back home. We'll look at it from the nice side profile right here. Texture up at the top, smooth finish at the bottom. Here's the back side with built-in cable storage and our power plug right there. This is really nice though, so it can be flush along the baseboard and your wall. It won't stick out or protrude or anything like that. Here's the other side. We have some venting right here with the iRobot logo and branding. And here's a look at the very bottom. So this is important in the design. We have screws that are Phillips head that we can remove. If this channel ever gets full of debris and clogged, you can maintain and clean that yourself. A lot of grip points throughout the unit, additional product information right there. Compared to some of their previous self-emptying bases, I like the smaller and more compact design of this one. The other ones were taller, so I guess it's kind of up to you which one you prefer, but this is cool. I think it looks great, very modern, and would fit into any house. I have the regular J7 Plus behind me as well that doesn't have mopping, and in case you're wondering, it's the exact same charging base. Here's that charging base right here, and dimension-wise, they're all the same, identical. I can't tell anything visually between the two that is different, so nothing has changed here. Now looking at the Roomba up close, at the top we have a couple different fit and finishes, the Roomba logo and branding, 1 control button, and our mopping module, what everybody's after right here. So there's a look at the mopping module right here. You just slide the pad right in place. Let's look at it from the side. So this one says iRobot Roomba Combo. We got a sensor there. Here's our dustbin and water tank along the back. Here's a look from the side. We have a flap here that's going to help with this mopping module to move up and down. I can't wait to see that in action. Additional sensors here. We have our front-facing sensor, obstacle avoidance, mapping, poop avoidance, that sort of thing. Another sensor on this side, and we got our flap again. I don't know if you want to call that maybe wings. I don't know, something like that. And then here's a look at the very bottom of the Roomba. So we have our 2 spring-loaded drive wheels, side cleaning brush, omnidirectional wheel, charging contacts, a lot of different cliff sensors right here, additional sensors. We have our Aeroforce cleaning system with our 2 brush roll design. They're both rubber brushes. We can easily open this up to remove and clean as needed. And we have our automatic dirt disposal tank right here at the bottom. Let's go ahead now. Let's flip it back over and let's pop that tank out. You just press this button right here. And let's look at this up close. So we have a do not get wet right here for our filter that we can remove and replace as needed. And then on this side, we have our water tank compartment. It says max 210 milliliters for the capacity. And then we'll look at it from all the rest of the sides and angles. It looks nice. And we should be able, looks like we can open that up too if we needed to manually empty or clean right there. But all the water is going to be just filled right here. And it looks like it moves along the side right here. So this tank, this portion of it's going to have our water. And I don't know if you can tell, there's actually, if you hear it, we have some sort of float mechanism and system in place in the tank. Fill it up, empty it out, whatever you need to do, and then it just snaps right back in place. Now let's go ahead, let's get the mop installed. Never would have thought I'd see the day where we could actually put a mopping pad on a Roomba. Sorry, BravaJet, but your time has come. So go ahead, just line it up as you see right here, and it just slides right in place, clips right in, and then we just gently press the pad on. So there's Velcro if you didn't notice. So just line it up with the Velcro, put it on, and there we go. We now have the mopping pad installed. Now let's charge it up and set it up. Really quickly, I wanted to jump in and show you a side-by-side comparison between the regular J7 and I guess what we're calling the J7 Combo. In regards to their form factor and design, they're identical to each other in dimensions as I put them on top of each other, but obviously there are some slight differences. One has a mop, one doesn't, and then the design at the top's a little different with the thickness of the black circle, and again, having a mop or not having a mop. Now let's flip them over. Looking at the back side of the units, very similar, but again, there are some key differences. Obviously, we have the gills, the wings, the flaps, whatever you want to call them on the combo unit. We do not have those present on the regular unit. You also may notice the drive wheels are different as well, different tread pattern here. And they both feature the AeroForce cleaning system, but the branding for that is different. The combo unit, it's all black, where our regular one, it has the green accent. You also may notice on the dirt disposal dustbin, this is slightly changed as well. So the combo unit has these two raised circles right here. We do not have that on the regular J7. And again, they tweaked this a little bit too with how it's branded. Automatic dirt disposal, 2 lines, whereas everything's spread across 1 line right here. There's a couple additional sensors on the combo unit that are not present on our regular unit, but really what I think happened is they have just repositioned them to make room for these flaps, gills, wings, whatever you want to call them right here. So those have been slightly rearranged in the design. Other than that, the dustbins as well are slightly different and they're not interchangeable as you would expect because one can house water, the other one can't. So on our combo units dustbin, pay attention to the piece right here that clips in place that you line up to snap everything in. Look at the size difference between the regular one and our combo unit. And obviously one has a water tank where one just has a trash can release button right there. Similar, again, but different at the same time. Our water tank, looks like we got maybe our water inlet right there. All that's missing from the regular unit. Very similar form factor. But again, a couple key differences prevent us from being able to swap them between units as you would expect. On the side of the Roombas, we have a slight variation as well. So our regular J7 right here, iRobot Roomba J7, whereas our J7 Plus combo is just called the iRobot Roomba Combo. With our flaps and gills that we already talked about, that's present on both sides here that we don't have here. Since there's no mop, it's lifting up and putting back down. And you may notice we have an additional sensor or window, something right here on the combo unit that is not present on the regular unit. So our Roomba's charged up. We also have the iRobot app downloaded. Once you either sign in or create an account, you'll be at this screen where you can view all of your devices if you have any other Roomba products. In this case, we need to add our new combo unit. So we're going to select the top left-hand button. That menu is going to allow us to add our product right here. and it can actually scan for nearby devices. So our Roomba Combo needs set up. That came up automatically for us. It scanned and found our device. Or if for some reason yours isn't showing up there, you can manually add it as well. So let's select setup here. Now we need to connect to our Wi-Fi. So make sure you're connected to the correct network and then select continue, enter your password, then select continue. Now it's working on connecting to the robot. We need to press the robot's button to connect to your phone. So the button should display a blue light swirl. Once you press and release the button, it will illuminate solid white. So we have the swirl right now. Let's press it. Solid white, we got a chime. Now it's connecting to the Wi-Fi, verifying the password. Then it's going to establish our cloud connection. All right, we got a chime in a little tune there. Everything was successfully set up, so we can take a second to name our robot. We're going to leave it Roomba Combo. Setup is complete. Now it's loading our experience right here, walking us through our Roomba Combo. So this is pretty neat. We have 8 different slides to go through. So it's showing the Roomba in action. When it detects the different floor type, it's going to then lift up the mop and keep it out of the way. And there's our tank, how to refill it. Here's the mapping. Select next. Once you have a map, rooms will be cleaned in a nice systematic row by row clean and along the edges. Showing you can also detect stairs and obstacles when it navigates. Smart enough to avoid some tangles there. And now we can opt in if we want imagery view. So we're going to opt into that. And here we go. We are now ready to vacuum and mop. Let's go ahead. Let's start a new map and let's get this fully set up. You can also retrieve saved maps here too. But in this case, we're just going to start a new map here, and then we'll come back in and we'll look at all the app settings after it's finished. So we've went ahead, we've already had our Roomba Combo create a map and do its first clean, so we can look at a fully populated mobile app, and we can check out the dustbin contents, the mop pad, and see how everything looks after one clean in a real world environment. So we're back within the app. It's currently ready to vacuum and to mop right here. Down below, we have our favorites where we could vacuum and mop everywhere, or set up our own favorites, or just vacuum everywhere. In the app, we can set a schedule right here, so we can add a cleaning schedule, choose the time, the day of the week, when you want it to repeat, clean everywhere, what map you want to use, that sort of thing. The rooms, you can specify zones. There's also an automation one, so you could have it set on a more flexible schedule, so every time you leave the house, it could clean. So pick and choose whatever one you prefer. Scheduling is always a nice feature. I like to have my RoboVacs just run every night at the exact same time. Now we have our cleaning history, so we can check out our history right here. We can view it by total area cleaned and lifetime statistics. So first up, it took 1 hour and 19 minutes to create our map. Here's the map that it populated for us right here. Very detailed and thorough, and it even shows carpeted areas. Pretty cool. And then we have our map when we did our first run. I already have the map set up how I wanted with the rooms labeled, no-go zones, cleaning areas, things like that. So this is what it actually looks like. You can see where it was able to clean around the base. Here's another area. So obviously anything in white, it did not clean. Everything else, it did clean. Obviously, yours will look different depending on maybe the obstacles you have in your house or environment that it may encounter while it's cleaning. And then we can see within the details here, we have 2 obstacles that we can begin our review to help our vacuum continue to learn. So ironically, the first one was in the kitchen. Let's select this, begin review, and we're basically going to help it learn and teach it to avoid obstacles and give it feedback in the future. Select finish. And it shows the 2 obstacles that we have here. So the first one is our dog and pet food bowls and our other mopping robot. Second one is a pile of shoes. So it is smart to detect certain obstacles, maybe cords, things like that around the house. It may show up here for you. I really like that. Took us 43 minutes to clean 286 square feet, so keep that in mind. We didn't have to recharge and resume or anything like that. That's just one floor of a house, so you get the idea there what it's capable and able to do. Obviously, yours will vary depending on if you have anything set up like I do where you don't want it to clean. I have a shag rug, doesn't matter whatever the vacuum is, whatever the brand, make, model, they always get stuck there, so I never have them clean that. And then we have our kids' playroom as well with a lot of toys. It's just not worthwhile to have anything attempt to even clean in there. But that's the map settings, very detailed and thorough. Really cool that we can see that within our cleaning history as well. Don't forget too, you can edit the map. So if you want to change any of your map settings right here, you can. We could also add a new area so we can save multiple levels and maps. So maybe you want to take this upstairs and downstairs to clean as well. You have that option right there. And we can rename, delete this map, and we can make any sort of edits all from this screen. So we can change the room dividers. We could add more, remove them as needed. We can change the labels. If we add more dividers, we'll have more rooms to label. Then we can set our zones right here. Our keep out zone is in red. Our no mop zone, we don't have any of those set. That would be in purple right there. And then our clean zone, if you want to identify maybe areas around your house that you want to have a specific clean zone for, you can do that. Those are going to be in blue. Ours is labeled rug because that's an area with high foot traffic. You can rotate the map. You can zoom in or out. It's very customizable. These are just drag and drop. I love having basically those virtual walls and barriers to set, and it is accurate. The Roomba is smart enough to know where those are and actually, follow those lines in your house that you draw here on the map. So very easy, simple, straightforward to use. Let's look at a couple more settings for our combo unit right here. That's going to be under the robot settings. So we can learn more about our particular vacuum. We can locate it if it's lost throughout our house. And then the cleaning preferences is something you're going to want to hone in for your own preferences. So we can choose multiple passes or a room size clean right here. Then we have our bin full behavior. What do you want to do when the bin is full? And our liquid amount, eco standard or ultra. I highly recommend using ultra. It's still not that wet. It will be equivalent to like a damp paper towel being rubbed across your floor. So I highly recommend using ultra, but obviously that means you're gonna have to refill the tank more frequently. So just choose the one that you want. And our obstacle detection, we can leave that off or have it on auto. I recommend having it on automatic as well. That's your key settings right here within the app to change and tweak for your Roomba. There's also a reboot and a factory reset option as well if you ever need to do that. And then back here within the app, every once in a while you may get some messages here. That's where we're going to be able to see those as well. So very simple to set up, use, navigate, basically set it up, put it on a schedule, and forget about it. This vacuum's also capable of working with Amazon Alexa and Google Assistant. So select the menu button in the top left-hand corner, choose Smart Home. Now we have a couple different options here. So let's choose Voice Assistance. And now we can view Amazon Alexa or Google Assistant commands. So here we go. You can link your account here, disconnect as needed, and we can explore these voice commands. It depends on the make and model that you have here. They'll specify for you. Start, stop, pause, resume vacuuming, return to home, status, location, schedule. You get the idea here. Clean by zone, clean by object, BravaJet commands, start, stop mopping, multiple robots. Just depends on the one that you have, but there's a lot of online help, documentation, and supports if you like to use voice control, whether it's Amazon or Google. They're going to have you covered here across all of their makes and models. Very nice, easy to integrate and set up if that's something that you like to do. And it does work. I myself personally just prefer to use the mobile app, set everything up, like I said, and then not have to deal with it again. But it is convenient across the board. Whatever smart home you've set up, you can integrate your Roomba with it. Now let's go see this in action. So now that we've done our first clean, let's check out the results and see how our Roomba combo has held up. First up, let's look at the dustbin contents. Really disgusting already, tons of pet hair. And I want to preface this with the following sentence. I already have another vacuum cleaner that runs every night on a schedule, and I already have another mop that runs. So the fact that it hasn't even been 12, 13 hours since the previous vacuum has run is really amazing looking at the contents here. So let's open this up. But this is going to be real world. This is what you can expect at your house. I have a dog and 2 kids, so we have a lot of pet hair, human hair, crumbs, grass clippings, all the typical dirt, dust, and debris right there. It's disgusting, like I said, that it hasn't even been 12 hours since another RoboVac has run in my house to clean, that we already have a full dustbin here from our new Roomba. That's also a testament to how these Roombas clean with their unique Aeroforce cleaning system, that dual brush design. They really do a good job, whether it's hard floors and surfaces or carpets, to get a lot of stuff that's left behind from other robot vacuums or maybe even your handheld or cordless vacuum cleaner. Next, I'm looking at the water tank here. It's going to be hard to show you a level. Maybe you can see it from the side of the camera right here. Basically, if I hold it like this, we're probably about half full. So right all the way down here up to there. If I show you it in the side, it's not going to work because it's going to tip it this way. So I'd say we have about half of our tank left after one clean. So in my environment and experience, let's say we got 300 square feet of mopping. That'd be around 600 square feet total before you'd have to change the tank. Give or take, probably a couple hundred square feet depending on your environment. And obviously this is with the maximum amount of wetness, dampness, whatever you want to call it, the most saturation you can get on the mopping pad. So I'd say with that setting, you're looking, like I said, just tuck that in the back of your mind, maybe around 600 square feet or so, give or take. Now let's look at the mop pad itself. So we still have it on the combo unit right here. I'd say there is a little bit of discoloration. I can tell it's already dirty. The mop pad is completely damp. There are no dry spots on it. And when I started this clean, I didn't get the pad wet or anything beforehand. That is something you could do if you want it even wetter than what the vacuum is able to do. But good news is when this starts dry after a couple of minutes, it will thoroughly soak this pad across the board, giving you complete coverage in regards to making sure you're maximizing where this is actually wiping down on your floor. Now looking at the bottom of the Roomba here, we do have some pet hair, a couple little tangles here on the side cleaning brush, as you would expect. Some additional hair around the omnidirectional wheel. Looks like we got some sort of crumb or piece of dog food stuck in the tires. And we have a little bit of hair here. This is one of the first times I've ever even seen hair collecting on their cleaning system. So with that being said, usually how this is designed with these rubber brushes, they really don't hold a lot of hair. So we had a little bit of hair get tangled on there, but that is not even a tangle if you're familiar with any sort of RoboVac in the traditional design with the single brush that actually has some bristles. Those really get stuck. But look, even these crumbs, things, it's able to pick that up with this brush roller, which I think is really cool. So I've always liked their system. If you're looking for the least amount of maintenance, they really are superior versus everything else on the market with this design, and how few of tangles ever get caught in here compared to any of the other ones where you always have to pop the cover off and literally cut off a bunch of hair, things like that, all the time to make sure you're getting an effective clean. That's not the case with the combo unit. This does a fantastic job, which is some of the unavoidable tangles like around the side cleaning brush that you'll still have to deal with, and maybe every once in a while an occasional piece of hair here. So after using the iRobot Roomba J7 Plus combo, let me share with you my final thoughts. The first thing I want to say is I think the name is goofy. This is the J7 Plus in the sense that we have the J7 in the self-emptying base. That's what the Plus signifies. But it's not the J7 Plus because it actually has a mopping attachment. So I know it says combo up here, but this is kind of a weird name, the Roomba Combo. Why not call it the J8? The S8 or something along those lines, or J7M, I don't know. You could get a little bit more creative, I think, than what we have here. So I think the marketing's a little bit confusing. But now in regards to actually using the vacuum, if you're familiar with the J7 or the J7 Plus, you're getting the exact same performance and features, albeit now you have a mop, so you have some additional usability and practicality with your Roomba. But I didn't notice anything different in regards to how it performs on carpets or hard surfaces. It's right in line because it has the same AeroForce cleaning system. Now, I think this is really cool. It's about time we have a 2-in-1 device from iRobot that has a mop. I guess maybe I was just hoping that it would look a little bit different than this particular design. I think it's really cool from a cleanliness standard and standpoint to be able to have your mop up and out of the way so it's not making contact with your rugs or your carpet with that dirty water. That is a genius idea. But I was hoping that this would have had a couple more features at this price point, like the ability maybe for these to scrub and actually have movement and motion, like some of the other competitors that are around this price point on the market today. And I really think they miss an opportunity to add the ability to refill the water compartment and tank. It is very small. You might get 2 cleans or so depending on the square footage of your house, maybe 3. It's just really up to the amount of flow that you've set it up to and how large your space is, but you will be having to refill that pretty frequently, and I recommend using the maximum flow setting. You're going to want more water on your floor than less, at least in my opinion, to get the best results. And with these mops, whether it's from iRobot or any other brand, when they don't have the scrubbing action and power, this is really just equivalent to taking a damp rag and wiping your floors down. Way better than not doing anything, but it's not going to get hard stains or things like that, you know, like dried on dirt. That's not what this is going to be able to break down and clean. So just picture, you know, a damp towel, paper towel, rag, whatever, being wiped across the floor. That's what you're getting with a mop module like this. I also have a couple of concerns about the longevity of this mopping mechanism. Again, really well designed and clever, but now we have all these extra parts and pieces that can wear out over time. Typically, you'll find most mops on the market today with your RoboVac combos have the pad at the bottom and you just slide it on and off. This, again, is super clever, but very intricate, and now it's just one more thing that we don't know how long it will last or what it's rated for. And lastly, I would say something I want to talk about is the price of this J7 Plus combo. I think for most people, this is priced too high for what you get. There's a couple non-name brand alternatives out there that are going to come in right around this price point that refill the tank. They actually have dedicated scrubbing mopping modules, and they'll dry and clean the pads, all of that stuff, again, right around this price point. So I was hoping that this would basically come into the slot of the J7 Plus, not really increase the price point anymore, stay right at where it was at, and we pick up the mopping module, but unfortunately that is not the case. So in the future, for this particular unit as it is, I'd love to see it come in like $300 or $400 less than it currently is. Also, at that point, if they want to add more features in the future, they definitely need to have the ability to refill the tank, clean the mop pad, and catch up to everybody else that is currently doing that right now. The obstacle avoidance works great. Keep in mind, no RoboVac is perfect. This can continually build up that database of images, so hopefully in the future it continues to get smarter and smarter as it encounters more pet waste piles, more cords, more shoes, more tangles, things like that. So a lot of good things about this. The biggest turnoff, I would say, is going to be the price. I'd argue even right now at the time of this video, you can buy the S9 and the BravaJet bundled together for less than this cost, and you get a better vacuum cleaner, their best one on the market, and you also get a dedicated mop, and you're going to save money. So with all that being said, I'm just not sure where this falls in the grand scheme of things of how many consumers will adopt it. Really cool, really clever. I wish that it came in a lot cheaper.